God, I gotta go close my bathroom door again. Alright. Last we left off, sorry I was so longer than I thought I was going to. But last we left off, we were going through our continued trial. We finally got a verdict of not a not guilty verdict, but we established a through line for the trial to continue because there was still so many unanswered questions. So now we're going back through testimony again to see where we can start to poke more holes. I'm going to um, share the stream. I got an energy drink this time so I can stay awake and keep going. Let's see. Right, and then Instagram. Oh, hello to you too. Well, there's probably just one person, but I'm putting out links to the stream for people to join. I remember I was so tired right here. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Right. People, our bodies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. Do you know what I think? I think it was a good ways away from rewarding my royally for all his hard work. Oh my god, bro. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pet, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. The case file's information has been updated in the court record. What? People are messaging me. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did this thing to go and fetch help, but my trusty royally was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. What's up? Let's see.
Hold it!
Did we already press this? But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark. Oh, but Royally and I were strolling along gazing at the night sky and looking for our lucky star. Sorry? The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Can't it guide you to the answer to the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star. And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it, like Roy would be an inspector. I would have said 3 times at least. Of course, with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars. Who's texting? Oh. In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you? Yes, sir, that is correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir. It certainly seems like their tone is true. And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her. Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on Rowley's beach, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat. Sir Rowley told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. Oh my god. Oh, please. So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Royally was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed. I was off duty at the time, but of course, I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Barbie is never really off duty, so. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for 1 moment. Nothing strange to report. Hold it! Okay. Nothing to report. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear that on the yards on my side. Really? That seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir. Seems altogether regular to me. This burnt copy of the London's Pride was originally in the Garrett household, so the question remains, how did it find its way into the hands of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that was just happened to be burned as well? Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived on the scene. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries, how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Can I ask you something, please, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. What? I wasn't really. I mean, what's she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you? Yes, Mrs. Beach, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes, the path of the least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter. I heard that. The Japanese man thinks that a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't. Duly noted, Mrs. Beach. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes.
Hold it!
Mrs. B, nobody's questioning what you've told us. I saw it, I did. That evening I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back, slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming bolts or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction? Oh, yes. Well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet early. He gets ever so cross.
Excuse me!
What? Constable Beat, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all. You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police boss in the next beat over from mine. But she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside in 10 minutes. Be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Riley, you're such a tease. But the reason I was gone so long was because of the bouquet, Tilly. The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Royally so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds. Yes, how romantic. I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling? Oh, yes. But that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looks very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm pretty sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about that bouquet. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and I ended up losing my way for a while.
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back, I was shocked, so I dropped the bouquet Ruby gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice at first. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on? Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again, but the funny thing is, when I went to pick it up, there was nowhere near the victim's body at all. In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling for me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably? That's right, silly me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although, I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think of how it got there. I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of our road to the opposite. Curious indeed. Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose royally brought me with that change from the gutter he spent too long collecting. By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry, solitary rose? Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Rory bought me for our anniversary with old bits of change he found in the gutter. Maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Lord Van Zeeks, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household. In front of the Garadeb's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. Could I have it back now, please? No, I think for good measure this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh. Good, because I'm gonna look at that bitch. But it's a symbol of our love. I don't give a fuck, girl. It's under scrutiny now. It's wrapped in newspaper. It's fairly stylish paper the flower's wrapped in, isn't it? It's very stylish paper that the flower is wrapped in, isn't it? It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me. I see. Is something wrong? Oh, no. I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake. Ah, Susato-san, you do love your cakes. There's nothing else to look at? An English rose is such a beautiful flower. This is a rose, isn't it? This is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before. Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo? I wouldn't say that exactly, but I do know 3 types at least. Gosh, 3? Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom. Perhaps you should consider branching out, learning some that aren't fruit tree based, for example. Oh. Okay, alright. I guess I'm done looking at it. I don't know, like, I thought it would have some significance or, like, something on it. Do people disagree? Oh my god. Okay, fine. We'll go back. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back. Good grief. Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beat. Wait, whoops. They did too much. Oh my god. I meant to press R1, not. The whole idea of an invisible attacker has been troubling me all along. But I believe I'm starting to get a picture of what really happened here now. The fourth book that had no business being at the scene of the crime made me sure that Mrs. Garibet was hiding something from us. But it's becoming increasingly clear that someone else has been hiding something from us as well. I think I may have already be armed with something I need to strike a decisive blow here. This time, it's going to expose the whole truth about this mysterious affair. I feel like it's the last one. Is it this?
Objection!
Fuck. No, the music is still playing. Fuck. I fucked up. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I fucked up.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Well, ain't this just about a bitch? Damn. God damn it. Yes.
Hold it!
So fucking shit. My god. Bro. We're going to get the truth of this matter. Yeah, we do. I just don't know which one it is. People are texting me, bro. Oh my god.
Hold it!
Even after I'm like, I'm finna be streaming, here come people texting me. It's never when I actually want to talk to anybody.
Excuse me!
What? What are you over here giggling about? Sorry, I gotta get back to where we were.
Hold it! Hold it!
Oh, I think I already pressed this one.
Hold it!
Now I need to do this one.
Hold it!
Can we get back to where we were? Fuck. Please do. I've been trying to go for so long, bro. I'm getting my passport before this year is over with, since it just started. I was supposed to get it last year, but shit was not working out. But once I get enough money to do so, I'm heading to the office, because now that I've moved, I'm much closer to the office that does passports, and let me tell you,
Hold it!
What?
Excuse me! Objection!
You claim, Constable Beat, there was nothing to report in 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be. What do you mean to say? Your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection!
Why didn't I think of that? Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described. No doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs.
Objection!
But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garrideb's book. Mr. Garrideb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out of the window by his wife, would have struck the panel of the casement window and landed here on the west end of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet, Jesus, should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. There's no illogical explanation for those things, unless somebody deliberately moved them. What are you trying to say? The way that you're talking, it sounds like you think my royalty's done something wrong. Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says, wittering on about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is. Oh good, Mrs. Garrideb's come around. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garrideb. But deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it, for a very subtle but compelling reason. Tampering. You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend, who would possibly have had the cause to out such an elaborate deception? Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and all the testimony points to that one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime? It would have to be her, wouldn't it?
Take that!
No. There's only one person who could have done this. Due to missionary turtle. Sorry, my lord. I was just taking a moment to get things straight in my mind. Oh. Literally. My points. Is it me or things getting more strict around here? What you were thinking is right, Mr. Naruhodo. There is only one person who had the opportunity to tamper with the scene of the crime. There can be no mistake. Yes, I thought so. There's no point overthinking this. There's really only one option. Who? Is it Royally? But why would he do that?
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person who it could have been. Constable Royally Beat, it was you. What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard? What nonsense! Why would my Royally do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go on a nearby police bus to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. Oh, you got dreads? How long is your hair now? What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it.
Objection!
If that was true, Constable Roly Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene.
Objection!
First, you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with, but there was only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something. That's right, he's right! But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make any sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Nododo, have you managed to solve this mystery? Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court what the motive was for this alleged tampering. Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the scene of the crime was to hide. I'm thinking... Where the victim fell is the same, because he's not moving a whole... Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this body had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road, we saw it happen, remember? It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know. It's certainly where everybody has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was actually stabbed at all. What? What? Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening? It had to be over here then, right? On the opposite side of the road? I don't understand. On the evening in question, Mr. Gyardev's book fell directly down from the open window above. In your bouquet, Mrs. Beat never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in his print. The victim herself, the 4 books, he moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary. But the constable overlooked one thing. What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume. Exactly. The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Seek said it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street nurse cast no light. Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously. Which is why it was only on the bouquet. That was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond, Constable Royally Beat? Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Royally, it isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream, a terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Only, it seems, it wasn't a dream at all. Good golly! So he did do it. What on earth is the meaning of all of this? Oh, Royally, why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London, of the London town. I can't say so. What? I really am ever so sorry about all of this. For damaging the Yard's reputation. For everything. I have a possible explanation. For why on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet, Lord Van Seeks, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear his extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan. It makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for the Constable Beat's unthinkable actions? I'm guessing...
Take that!
I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I have only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens of this beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord. Bro, I want to go to a karaoke place so bad. That would probably be the only place that I'll ever sing out loud in front of anybody. Oh yes, it was our very first wedding anniversary. Oh. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal. When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of him, what must have gone through the man's mind? I want to go to... There's still a place that sells, like, Beyblades. Like, they're still new. Or there's, like, GameCube games that you can get, and GameCubes that are, like, brand new. There's a bunch of places in Akihabara that have a bunch of, like, statues and stuff that I want to go to. I want to try so much of the food. And hell, I want to go to the even non-touristy spots of Japan. Like, there's some parts in Shizuoka that I want to go to because my friend lives in Shizuoka. There's Yokosuka that Khalil is stationed in. What else? Of course, I do want to go to some of the touristy spots, but I want to go to like non-touristy spots too. Like there's like a laundry list of shit that I want to do when I go there. I'll have to like make a list of things that I have to go. Bro, I want to learn how to play mahjong. I've seen like books, but I've never read one. And they apparently teach you how to play mahjong. But just on that particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Is it hard? Because it looks kind of like difficult or like weird to play. Like I don't get it at all. Especially like I also kind of want to play shogi or go, but I don't know how to like. I already don't know how to play chess, let alone like chess that's in another like culture. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigations and help detectives. Constable Beat. Is that, or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of crime that day? Yes. Do it. And if you want to learn Japanese, I feel like that's a good way to get into it by getting games that you love or consuming content that you love in Japanese. I know that might not be your goal or your initial intention, but that's certainly mine. I want to be very fluent, so like when we go to Japan, I don't need an interpreter, or we don't need an interpreter, you know? Like, I can read and go places, like, all on my own, or whenever I meet up with my friend from, Shizuoka, hell, like, he can help us, but everything you said, it's all right. So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat.
Oh,
Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. It's so weird to say. Good gracious, Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you've done? It was the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. As we ran to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. I've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. Just be ready for it to all be dubbed in Japanese, girl. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what it meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with it. Oh, okay, I'm starting to get it now. Why here? Why did this have to happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why? It's a copper's job to guard the scene of a crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then when I opened my mouth to speak, it just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So you'll have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street and then... Oh, I'm, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. I just wanted, just that one night, to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, really? Just that one night. You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside of your jurisdiction. That's dope. If I ever have a kid, or if I ever adopt a kid, I'll probably pass down a bunch of my shit to them. You know, I want it to be with someone that cares about the shit like I do. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care. You see, I thought, well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. I beg your pardon. Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, Maroli would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement. I see your meaning now. The guard got me back from my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Royally, that was all my fault. I should have never dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Royally. And can you tell us, Constable, How many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total? Huh? Oh, 4 it was. Yes, definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Gyaradev household, of course. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand, when all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. How you found it? What do you mean? When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir. Interesting. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time. You see, there were only the 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you look at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of a difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zieks. I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw. Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir, what will become of my Royally? What will happen to him? For now, you're free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. All right then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir, let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. Never again, sir. You mean to say... Leave now. This trial is not yet over. Oh, sir! Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party translating the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could possibly committed this crime. No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord Van Zieks, is this true? Very well. Name the person if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who could have perpetrated the crime.
Take that!
Sorry, girl. But you the one throwing shit out of windows. The defense would once again like to request a cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again? My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth of this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Miss Joan Gyaradev. Me? Oh, dear
Objection!
me.
request has already been denied.
Objection!
But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garrideb, answer me this.
What do you want now, you little toad?
At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garrideb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke of the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road.
Well, what of it?
You threw this book at your husband, and when he was cornered with his back against the window, upon striking the pane of the open top-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident.
Yes, and as I said, what of it?
During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garrideb. This knife, the one you removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before?
Oh. I don't recall it.
Seriously?
Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there and all that regalia said members of the jury need to testify, didn't he?
Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
Oh,
No. I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4.
oh, ooh. Oh,
Make no mistake. Your jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out. But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know?
what's that? Are you joking? What are you saying? Please, Mrs. Garrideb.
Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I had injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it.
Oh, the poor woman.
So yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife. If that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop. Do your worst.
Very well. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, if I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already.
Then take the stand, juror. Oh!
The prosecution does not subject to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Oh, wait. Does not object. Okay. I don't know what the fuck I said. Thank you, Lord Venzeeks.
I'm going to have to testify?
Juror number 4, as I'm sure you will appreciate having observed... As I'm sure you will appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today. Witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witness themselves may not even have been aware.
Oh, dearie me.
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garrideb. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels?
Certainly, my lord.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for, my lord. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer.
Witness, state your name and occupation. Yes, my name is Joan Garrideb, and I'm a juror and such like.
It sounds like even she doesn't know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam?
Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. oh dearie me.
Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about now. Oh, when did you get here?
Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. Wasn't only you in the room that day, old thing. That day, old thing, was it? But I think I have to testify as well, don't you? But what about your knee, dear?
Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Oh, John.
I presume you are Mr. John Garadeb.
Yes, sir.
Former 2nd Lieutenant of 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were.
The quiet life?
Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question?
Oh, well, yes. Quite.
I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a jury to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question.
Sir, at once.
Battle of Garadeb. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked the candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out though, and got out the window with it.
Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back was really one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. Oh, that was some short testimony. Fuck. Y'all, should I go to the gym tonight? It's been a minute, and I feel a little small. And I hate when my titties don't, like, pop. Like, I want my titties to pop. Like, It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield, you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Well, I must say, I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end. And Six may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this one last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I'm afraid so. Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination. This is they are referring to the weaponized the press. The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe.
Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was stuck into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Gyarados.
Rather passionate note, in fact. But Mr. Gyarados found the note discovering her husband's little secret.
And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too.
Easter? I thought you said girl. What a sordid state of affairs.
Hell on earth.
I say, when a chap says that he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. And besides, half of it was wide the mark anyway.
A likely story.
These waters run very deep. And what transpired next after these couple blows to the face? Knocked the candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon headed out though, and got the window open. And the fire also spread to some items of the furniture, didn't it? The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine really. Just so happens there was some bath water around that evening, so I sloshed out about it, put it out. A most precarious situation you put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story house on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. Have to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any, you see.
The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although that little mustached Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe.
The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off.
Have you actually seen the state of the man?
I believe he uses all his income to buy books.
Well, anyway, the point is, I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Even though the room was on fire?
As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw.
That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo.
How did she know I was thinking that? How does she know what you're thinking almost at all times anyway? Please cast your mind back to try and remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day?
In all honesty, I don't recall, but I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see, some bread, cabbage, garlic, towel, and a sponge, a napkin.
Oh my god, he scared me.
Excuse me!
Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Gyarados. Wait, don't shoot. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more of a solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker I seem to recall. Ouch. And the... good grief, woman, we're not at home now. This is a court of law.
Oh dearie me, ever so sorry, dear.
What's she even doing with a teapot in here?
Honestly, John, I would never have thought such things at you, obviously.
Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that this happened, Your pipe, sir? Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. I knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing, see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see. Your pipe was broken. It would have never been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now.
You are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear?
I wonder what we should make of this account. Could be important. The defense believes Mr. Gyarados' remarks just now to be of great significance.
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray your fiery wife and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of anything of adding to formal testimony.
Indeed, common sense, one might say. Might one?
In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir?
Well, I don't see why not.
Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady.
Very well. Oh, very well. The court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence. The pipe has been entered into the court record. I need to look at this pipe. Is it also chipped? It's a small nick out of the bowl here. Look, appears to have been made relatively recently.
And how there are little scrapes and dents all over. It's clearly a well-loved pipe.
Yes, you're right. Seems to me recently that well-loved things goes... that being well-loved goes have... It seems to me recently that being well-loved goes hand-in-hand with getting some battle scars. This particular nick is catching my eye, though, because it's clearly new. Looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? For some reason it feels slightly ominous to me, like it's trying to shout out a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Gyarados' dressing gown.
I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Gyarados, given that he's gone to the trouble of repairing it like this.
Either that or he can't afford to replace it. That's the chip in it! That's the chip to the blade! Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe here.
Yes, I saw it. Something's stuck in here, I think.
Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. Looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade. Surely it couldn't be. It's the tip of that knife. It's the tip of the knife. It's the tip of the knife. This is a tiny piece of metal that we found in the chamber of Mr. Gyarados' pipe.
It looks like the tip of a blade or something.
The tip of a blade?
Is something wrong, Mr. Nodohodl?
I don't really know. There's just something niggling me. I really hate that they use that word, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is.
Perhaps in that case, it would be wise to examine some other piece of evidence again. Look here, Mr. Nodohodl. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Wait, part of it is missing. I could be wrong, but I just got a feeling. You remember this?
Ah, that's a tiny fragment of metal that we found inside of Mr. Gyarados' pipe.
Yes, and just maybe.
Oh my, it's a perfect fit.
Somehow I just knew it. We'll have to use that when it comes up.
Hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down.
Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Susato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrett. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter, what can you tell us about the course and knife used to attack the victim?
Hold it!
Sorry? Would you care to elaborate? Nothing to say, really. Rather partial to a spot of carving, you see, pipes and whatnot, fishing tackle, you know, the sort of thing.
It's a passion we both share. I like to carve little wooden trinkets too. And then there's my love work.
Sorry to say we're always losing knives about the place, and we have dozens of things.
We sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Needless to say, I snap them up. John prefers to use 2 knives at meal times too, instead of a knife and fork.
Now, Joan, we don't want people thinking I'm some kind of savage. Ah! Here we go with the scaldings. Why are they being so evasive?
I imagine it's because they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that injured the victim.
Which is certainly understandable, of course, but still.
Go on with their testimony, witnesses. Sir.
Hold it!
So you have no intention of admitting it was your knife, unless we can produce proof? Even though there is no other credible possibility if Mr. Natsume is innocent?
Objection!
You forget, my Japanese friend, that it has yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack.
As if I could forget. If only there was some way to know who had handled the knife. But I suppose wizardry like this is just a dream.
Perhaps you're thinking of fingerprinting, Mr. Naruhodo.
What? You mean it's not a dream? That sort of wizardry really exists?
Whenever people touch anything, they leave behind a unique pattern from their skin, or so they say. But I can't see anything.
There are already countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. Lord Strongheart is currently discussing the matter at the Ministry of Justice.
Yes,
I believe we are rapidly approaching an era of scientific methods of investigation.
But for now, we shall have to find an alternative method of proving our assertion that this knife found in the victim's back was originally Mr. or Mrs. Gyarados' house.
If only I could translate this whole incident into several years in the future. That's the extent of their testimony, is it?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I think we've heard all this before, to be honest. I can't say I'm particularly confident I will be able to prove anything new from this testimony.
But in this cross-examination, it's absolutely essential that we establish how this knife came to be at the scene of the incident.
Yes, I know.
I'm sure both of them must be feeling very worried. Worried that it was in fact a knife belonging to one of them that caused the victim's injury.
If we could find even a tiny shred of evidence to support that theory, it would clinch this trial for us. It would explain everything.
Yes, it would.
So for Soseki-san's sake, we must find that last crucial piece of evidence.
Objection!
That piece of knife. Mr. Gyaradev, could I ask you to take a look at this piece? Look at this, please.
You can ask, but I can't see a bloody thing.
You can't?
You used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course, but that was some time ago.
Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days, I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest.
Oh, he does, dearie me. It's rather wearing being asked about every other letter in the word.
You must D very dizzy. Oh my God.
What is that, a tiny scrap of metal?
Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence.
Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence?
It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how it got there.
And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it's in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road?
I am. What?
When we put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. His whole back is burnt up. You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well then, present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with this fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case? Oh, girl, this damn jack
Take
roll.
that!
This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece of the tip of the blade that is missing.
Common issue with the inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave tips lodged inside their victims' bones.
And what of this particular knife?
No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the
Objection!
victim.
No, girl, I just showed you the tip of the blade. No, that's not the case. Ugh. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
Ugh! Ugh!
Oh, he grabbed his chest.
I don't believe it.
The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Good golly gosh! Not her standing on the box, I just realized. Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery?
This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle.
A miracle? So Franciscus figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when the fragment of metal found its way into Mr. Garrideb's pipe. Something that was clarified for us in most recent witness testimony. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Not to clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, dearie me. During the argument between those two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrideb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrideb, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time,
which caused the tip to break off, of course.
Good lord! Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe. The chances of that are a trillion to 1. And yet, there is no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out the open window. In short, this knife which fell from the window of the Garrideb's house is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh.
No!
Objection!
A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that.
Complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points, plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to terse my lone friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his arguments. Sorry, people are texting me. Sorry?
But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see,
Oh,
it's spoilt by an insurmountable inconsistency.
an insurmountable. What? Lord Van explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with the knife planted in the middle of her back. Yes, in her... Ah! Oh! That's right, you silly little man. Now, John, old thing, what are you getting so excited about?
Let us consider the basics of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there's no possible way it could have planted itself on the victim's back.
God.
Quite right, you see. That's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head.
Well, what about the book that probably knocked her the fuck out? That's what I'm feeling like. He's lost for words. Look,
I knew it. I never liked his theory in the first place.
I don't know how, though. What really did happen? Fear the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder. If a theory has one consistency, it cannot stand.
Your theory, my learned friend, is history.
Fuck. We were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely, just by one simple inconsistency. Or in other words,
We simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency, and the theory will stand.
Mr. Sato, you mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend.
Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed.
Objection!
This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. Hold on, give me one. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that there is a piece of evidence in the record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer.
Goodness. Utter madness.
Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present evidence of which you speak. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back. I think it's what I said. Because it had to have hit her in the head, knocking her out, and then...
Take that!
This. The fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. The burnt book. Is that not Mr. Gyarados' book? Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. As well as we all know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Quite so, a part of this wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. That's true, however. As part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? Oh, well, that's because that's how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure that it was still in her hand. In other words, the victim had already picked up the book of her own volition. And clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand?
But, by Jingo!
I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh dearie me.
We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Gyarados household onto the pavement below, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, at exactly that moment, the young woman was walking along the street in the white fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right on in front of her.
The book I threw.
Yes, Mrs. Gyarados. And what do you think of the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement?
Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked the book up.
Yes, that's exactly how the woman did, in fact. She picked up the book.
Oh, heavens!
And when the woman reached down to pick up the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bending over to pick up the book. Oh! Damn! The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, walking by chance directly beside Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Well, I never! It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Oh! And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there was never a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb?
The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
There, old bean.
Poor Mrs. Garadeb.
Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book, and I threw the knife as well. John, dear.
It's alright, I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. He's going down too. These clumsy motherfuckers got a bitch stabbed in her back because y'all in here fighting over some nonsense. Damn. We in here for nothing. Lord Van Zeeks, what news of Mrs. Garadeb? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events have left her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could have easily been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will gain consciousness soon.
It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her. How wonderful. The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Yes, that is good news. So, Mr. Soseki Natsume.
Yes.
On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies.
No, it is me who should be begging your pardon.
Oh no, Mr. Natsume.
That evening, when a young woman had just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion.
What conclusion, sir?
I was sure that the woman was dead.
Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless.
It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me.
Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. And I know this didn't help.
Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police. Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I'm truly sorry.
One can indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Zeeks and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both.
Oh,
now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decision regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times.
Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know. But I know what her decision would be. Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time.
I say I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I?
If you even remember what the fuck happened, or where the fuck you were. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Hallelujah, FM.
I hereby pronounce you not guilty. Yes, sir. Oh. And finally, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, yes, Lord, sir.
You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me.
Oh, yes, sir, of course. All my life, I swear I'll never set foot in the courtroom again. I'm
transported 2 tiers. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. I shall end it here, my boys. Thank you for coming by to the stream. Thank you for sitting through to the rest of the trial. We got a not guilty verdict. We won. I never thought that we'd get here. But, once again, I appreciate all who came out to the stream and watched, commented, shared, whatever. Thank you once again. I shall be back maybe later on this week. I am drawing and producing my manga, so I might be busy with that. If you want to see it, it's called Global Comics. It's called Fallen Spirits, and it's on Global Comics. I'll probably update the channel. Maybe I might say something about it again. at the start of the next stream. But like I said, thank you all to coming out for the stream. I appreciate it greatly, and you guys have a great rest of your night, evening, day, whenever you watch this, because it will still be up on the channel. Love you all.